Welcome to Gud Vybz. Welcome back. We've got amazing guests back. We're going to be talking about Netflix's original series called Behind Her Eyes, and this is Natalie's. She raised this a couple of weeks ago. Now, I haven't seen it. I'm just going to give you a very quick recap. I'm very saddened to say what I've become. I diligently watched marathon movies, Nollywood home movies and stuff from start to finish, nuanced, without missing anything. After starting our own business and becoming a mother, this is not possible. So my life is now, and there's too much output anyway and productions and available content. But when Natalie mentioned this, I went on YouTube, and you're like this, trying to get past the spoilers and get to what you wanted to see. So it was there. I checked it out, and basically Netflix, like a week after it was broadcast, Behind Her Eyes, literally did an explanation with spoilers. So I was like, is this actually Netflix sharing spoilers? This is what it's become to. Anyway, I watched it. Mm-hmm. It had one of my favorite singers' daughters. One of my favorite bands is U2.
Yes.
Bono. I loved them for years. Paul Newson, aka Bono, his daughter, Alison Newson, or is that his wife? Anyway, she is one of the leads in Behind Her Eyes. I thought I recognized her. My point is, Natalie is going to lead on this because she's very passionate about it. I know the spoilers, and so the main point is, if you have not seen it, stop watching now, I beg. Come out of this chat and discussion and return and comment below with your thoughts on it. All right, spoilers. I'll add that later. Introduce yourself and go for it. Why are we talking about Behind Her Eyes?
Greetings, Natalie from Nurture by Natalie. We're talking about Behind Her Eyes because when I watched it, there was the obvious things in there, but there was also lots of, I thought it was quite layered. Some of the layers people might not necessarily see, because like I always get told, you look too deeply into things, you do, but I can't help it. It's like a nice flaky pastry. The more layers and folds there is, the more it's fluffy. So I'm a fluffy girl, so I'm gonna bring it back to food, and allow me. I'll try not to give too many spoilers away. However, like Gud Vybz said, pause it, and then when you've watched it, come back and see like, oh, did they nail it, kind of thing. So the first thing that I saw was
what's it about?
Okay, so it's about a lady that meets a couple, and no, that's too much storyline. What it's about is, one, the ability to let go or not, and how that may affect one. Two, it's about sometimes mind your business. Three, sometimes it's about, I use the butterfly analogy. I've been told, and I don't know how true it is, but it kind of makes sense to me. When a caterpillar is in the cocoon, ready to bust out and become the butterfly, it has to literally fight its way out, yeah. And that fight basically causes enough exertion so that the blood flow gets to the ends of the wings, which gives the butterfly its color. And apparently, if you think you're being helpful, trying to cut the butterfly out of the cocoon to help it, its wings come out grey, because that fight basically took away the ability to get the color on the wings. So it's that thing of, sometimes, yes, it's that finding that balance between helping people and trying to save them. So there's element that it's about that for me. It's about, right, I'm going to just jump out the window. It's about, as Black women, there seems to be less of an expectation of access to being sort of dizzy and ditzy and, you know, a bit just carefree and a bit silly and a bit, you know, and because, right, I'm going to just start there. The most prevalent.
Sorry, I'm trying to, now I watched it ages ago and I'm just trying to give people kind of a premise so they know what they're watching, because it is very deep, but the ending is actually a twist.
It's a Kaiser Soze twist.
Actually a good twist. Yes, it's actually a twist. It's actually well written, well acted, well crafted. But the actual synopsis, which I'm not great at giving, is, you're allowed to say it because it is going to be spoilers. Basically, a woman, as Natalie was saying, a woman does meet a man who's and then ends up meeting his partner, and there's a triangle of sorts, but there's lots of things in the foreground and lots in the background, and how their lives, past lives, present lives, and futures are entwined in a very clever, and you won't see it coming, ending. Back to you, lady. That's it. That's what we can give.
No, that was really good. I really needed that. I was like, how do I like?
It's hard.
Yeah, it was really tough, really tough. But like, I'll start with the for me, one of the things that really irritated me, apart from her wig, because this woman's got a lovely head of hair, and if you're gonna put a wig on somebody, get a good wig, fam. Budget for the wig. If you're gonna say you want this person to wear this wig to convey this character, fine, but don't be doing up the you know, I'm not slander nobody. Just get the budget to have a decent wig. There's loads of influencers. There's loads of places you can get, even if it's Do Not Alibaba, you can get like the wardrobe department. Like, and the thing is, the sister's got a beautiful head of hair as well that actually look better than the wig.
Let me while you're talking, I think it's, let me not double check. I'll double check whether it's the actress is Selena Brown. I don't know her origins. I'm gonna double check where she's.
Yes, please, because she's stunning looking lady. Because I looked at her and I thought, oh, it would be like, okay. The point, my point being, like, because she looked like she fitted a kind of a whimsical character, and the whimsical character that they was trying to give her. But I do feel as if that kind of whimsicality and bit ditziness and a bit, I don't feel that there's enough space afforded for us to be like that. I feel as if the expectation is to be, oh yeah, you're strong. I bet you nobody will mess with you. Like strong, the doer, the nurturer, holding everybody, the cook, the clean, the bottle washer, bend over to the Matrix and do a whole dance routine like Beyonce while giving birth, and like the whole thing. Like, where does whimsy fit into that? So for that reason, I found a bit of a disconnect from the character and questioning myself whether is that my conditioning or, and I was like, no, because I will literally sit down and ask myself certain questions. It won't be out loud, but I'll ask, and then I'll think about it. But what it was is that, no, it's just that fact of, to my understanding, even the most, like, okay, even the most prettiest, whatever that means to you, but in terms of modern society, even the most prettiest turn-up girl them nowadays, usually their turn-upness for the most part is like a mean girl turn-up, like, you know the Instagram thing where it's like, look at me, but don't look at me. I don't want you to think that I want you to look at me, but you better look at me, but don't. You know, there's that kind of really, for me, it's a bit twisted. Like, you want people to look upon you, or you don't want people to look upon you.
So like, is this about? So basically, just to so Behind Her Eyes, the on the poster, there's the layers that Natalie's talking about. There's the three main characters. So it's correction, it's Simona Brown is the actress, and then it's Eve Hewson and Tom Bateman are the three lead characters that are put to the foreground, and then there's other characters involved. So there's a lot of kind of red herrings from the title to how many characters are involved, There's a it's a clue. I haven't watched it, and I will as soon as I get a chance. But because Natalie is talking about also, I mean, she's just going to talk about the elements. I think so. Am I understanding this right? It's a shame that a great plot and story and acting and storytelling was jarred and distracted by bad weave and false representation through wardrobe.
No, that was just one of my irritations about it. My main, in terms of for me, the disconnect was it didn't. Any ethnicity of woman could have played that role. There was no nuances for a black woman being in that role because the experiences are slightly different. I think I remember saying to you, it felt as if it was either written by somebody that wasn't black, that part, or somebody that doesn't really understand black women as such. Like, I didn't feel like she could have been on Sex and the City with Carrie and them. Like, she seemed to be more like Carrie. And my questioning was, where is the room in the identity of a black woman for that kind of whimsical, a bit silly, a bit like, oh, that was a bit stupid, like, making the mistakes and, falling down on the stage in the too high heels, meeting somebody, spilling a drink on somebody, da 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 da. There's not that much room for that because actually, it's like one of the, give me your number. Oh, well, you're ugly anyway. Like, there's not that whimsicality. There doesn't seem to be as much room for that. That's what I'm thinking. Not necessarily for myself because I ain't like that. You don't know how I flex now. But I'm just thinking like for my niece and generations coming up, because my niece, like, she's very deep and earthy and rooted, but she's also really beautiful and she's a bit ditzy at times as well. Do you know what I mean? And is there going to be?
I'm just looking for the writer and stuff like that. So just to see, not that it matters, because I don't want to make assumptions. I'm just going to have a look as who the writer is, but writer and cast. I maybe it was. Here you go. Right, the writer was Sarah. Hold on a second. Netflix thriller Behind Her Eyes, about a love triangle, and the writer Sarah Pinborough, who wrote the novel of the same name. Right, so let's have a look at Sarah Pinborough, author, see what comes up. I can't elaborate on this because I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to make any assumptions. So I'm going to have a look while we're doing this here.
I'm doing the Google. She's a white lady still.
Okay, and where is she from? Has written, she's a Caucasian lady, young adult and adult thriller and fantasy and cross-genre novels. Nationality English, which is British. Blah 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 blah. Personal life. Not much else. So yeah, that's it. Just to give a reference.
To me, it was a wicked story. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, for a character that was so integral to the whole storyline, there was like certain nuances that was I wouldn't say missing. That was kind of, some were missing and some were a bit kind of slightly misaligned. But it's like sometimes that can be just solved by asking a person. Anywho, and then also as part of the storyline, the same character, through being that ditzy and whatever, or just in general, ended up kind of being on the brunt and carrying the consequences. Let's say she becomes the vehicle for the consequences, holding the consequences. Thank you.
That's a very. Remember what Natalie just said. She becomes the vehicle for the consequences. When you watch it, you'll understand and you remember Natalie's sentence. Just to let you know, hopefully Natalie's concerns about lack of nuance for so-called Black, British, African, Caribbean person in the UK will be addressed, because it's filmed in and around London and other areas. There's a season 2, apparently, possibly. So we'll see how that is addressed. But yes, so that's Behind the Eyes. Anything else on that?
But to be fair, that my fear about the season 2 is the way how the thing transpired. I'm also thinking now there's going to be the issue of another stereotype being perpetrated through the actions and the consequences. Another
the angry black woman.
Yes,
yeah. It's we'll see how they handle that and how it's justified.
And also the trying on of, so there's a whole that was like the fingers down the chalkboard for me, in so many different ways. However, it's going to make for great television. And what was the other things? The lucid dreaming, I thought, was an amazing addition.
An astral projection. What do you think about that? I don't know anything about these topics.
I don't know a lot about it, because it's something that I don't feel like I'm ready to fast with right now. But I do know it's about being able to, speaking on the kind of touching back on the last episode.
Spoiler alert!
No, the last episode that we did, Gud Vybz, is that being able to maybe be aware of your body, but be somewhere else, or be out of the body also. It actually really touches on that, which so actually just made me think of the previous episode that we did, the subject matter, which was interesting. Yes, it's basically the ability to be able to, I think, relax yourself into a state where you can take yourself out of your body and you can go to other places. Apparently, well, according to this, because like I said, I don't know that much about it, but according to the Sutter, you can only go to places that you've been before in that state.
Which is very in the Netflix spoiler. The reason why I said spoiler alert is because I said astral projection. This is what I find very interesting, and when you dream, as I always talk about this, Jonathan Glazer is a director of a Radiohead video about street spirit, Fade. And he talks about the video is that in our dreams, we do not land. And I got to think about what you're talking about, because it's very key. You have to be able to, you can only go to where you've been before, because it's very hard to create a new visualization, a new environment, a new construct, and things like that. But Natalie referenced before about Inception, which is something we'll talk in another video. This is what's so interesting, and also about brain capacity, limitless, how much brain function and ability that we do use. Maybe if you have a higher capacity and unlimited use of brain capacity, you could build these dream environments and move about and move from body to body. But this has been explored by people like the man's name, there's a brilliant book, people. There's people like Anne Rice, who wrote the Vampire Chronicles. She touches on this beautifully. But there's another guy that wrote Lucifer. I need to find the name. Please, if you ever find the book, it is, I think Lucifer is a series on Netflix, but please read the book. The book is amazing, because he talks about this. Glenn Duncan is a reference. I'll put the links below. Yeah, Glenn Duncan, Lucifer. I read this years ago, and it is so, I was going to swear, funny. But what happens when the Lucifer and God's angels take physical form in human bodies on earth and move between them as vessels. So these are all linked. We'll put the link below. Natalie, your last words on Behind Her Eyes. Must watch? Or
I feel it's a must watch. I think just in terms of just plain storyline, brilliant. And then for the nuances as well, I thought was also like, because different things like relationships, etc., being able to let go. Don't be bad mind. Wish somebody good, even if you're not doing good. Like that was a big fit. Yeah, there's bare things. All right, but you see the neck of me, I wind it in there.
but this is good. It's good because it's passion, it's sharing, and we want people to go in, what's it called? Go and check out the videos, and check out Gud Vybz videos, the one before, because we want you to just go and explore for yourself, have your points of view, come back and comment and let us know what you think and your reactions to what we talked about. But I love it. I love being introduced to new things because I've added it to the watch list because you talked about it passionately. And when I do watch it, I'll know what you mean and I'll look out for stuff and see, and I'll watch it and we'll either agree or disagree.
Yeah.
When I see it. But thank you people for watching.
And the little boy is adorable, like the most adorable child. Oh my God. That was just, I had to put that in there. That little actor did an amazing, beautiful kid, man. Oh my God. That was it. I had to get that bit out there.
I love it. I love it. We'll check it out. Hold on a second. Name of the actor. I hope I get it right. Where's the cast list on this thing? It might be Robert Aramayo or Tyler Howitt or Georgie Glenn, in addition to the Simona Brown, Eve Hewson, and Tom Bateman as the cast. Stay blessed, people. This has been Behind Her Eyes with what's called commentary from Nurture by Natalie, the one and only. Peace. Watch all the videos, share and comment.
Peace.